do the challenge for the day. So that'll be the day 4 challenge that we'll get into with Angel Fletcher. So I did it faster. I got done by the top of the hour. I'm very, very proud of myself for being able to do that. The clock just ticked over to 11 o'clock Pacific. So we're going to continue the conversation. And, you know, if we talked yesterday about 4 important aspects, if you want to succeed in network marketing, there's 4 things that you got to pay attention to. 1, today more than ever, you got to build your brand. And that might not be intuitive to you, but I promise you, you do. And we're going to spend more time on branding over the course of this next 4 weeks. We announced yesterday that anybody with a GoPro ticket, whether you already have a ticket or you buy a ticket this week, anybody with a virtual GoPro ticket for December 3rd, 4th, and 5th will get a whole bunch of bonuses, which I'll recap later. But you'll also be enrolled in a free 4-week coaching program for the month of November. 4 weeks. And we're going to be covering brand, skills, systems, and social. Okay? Those 4 topics. These 4 are crucial for success in network marketing: brand, skills, systems, and social. Okay? And we've got some of the greatest experts in the world that are going to be a part of that. Who's the other person that's coming tomorrow? We don't? Okay. Well, we have a special guest tomorrow. It's going to be Ed Milet. If you don't know who Ed Milet is, look up Ed Milet. He's a powerhouse superstar, and super excited to be able to have him tomorrow in this challenge for you and your teams. Looking forward to that. But I think that's it for now. I will tell you, if you don't have your if you already have your GoPro ticket for December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and I'll also tell you that Ed Milet's going to be speaking at GoPro. Put a number 1 into the comments if you already have your ticket. If you already have your ticket to virtual GoPro, which is most of you, I know. If you don't have your ticket, let me give you a link real quick. It's GoPro2021.com. GoPro2021.com that you can use to get your ticket and join the rest of us at the biggest event in network marketing history. GoPro2021.com. Okay? So anyway, that's that. I just, plant that seed for you so you can get that done while we're watching. But today I'm excited because one of my dear friends, this woman is all heart, but she's so strategic. She's so smart when it comes to network marketing success. She's used social in a very unique way. She's maximized groups. She's recruited how many? Over 8,000? She's recruited over 8,000 people personally. Personally. She's recruited over 8,000 people. Do you understand that? 8,000 people. You think she could teach you how to recruit one? Our objective this week is that everybody watching this recruits at least one. At least one. She's recruited over 8,000, so one is going to be like falling out of bed. One is a piece of cake. So let's bring up onto the screen my friend Angel Fletcher. Angel, you there? Hey, how are you, sister?
I'm awesome. I'm always awesome. How are you?
I know you're always awesome. I'm good, but I'm more excited that you're here. I want you to, take 45 minutes or so and train these guys' butts off. And I want it to end with them taking an action that's going to create a result. I know you've been plugged into the challenge. You've been seeing what we've been doing. But you're such a good strategist. You're such a good implementer. You're such a good communicator. You're such a great trainer. I'm so privileged that you're here. $1 Million Hall of Fame member. And Ryan is also another $1 Million Hall of Fame member, who's also spectacular and amazing and epic and unbelievable. But wouldn't it be nice to live in a household where there was 2 $1 Million Hall of Fame members that are earning over $1 million a year in network marketing? Wouldn't that be kind of interesting? It helps, right? You know, when you're not the only one, you know, you got some camaraderie with all of that money. So anyway, Angel, I'm going to let you take the floor, and I'm going to sit back and listen. And everybody, please tell your friends. Please take notes. If you don't have your ticket to GoPro, make sure you get your ticket while you're listening, while you're watching. But get ready for some cool innovation. Okay, Angel, take it away.
Before you run away,
Yeah.
I booked my plane tickets. I'm coming to see you for GoPro.
Yes, 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 yes.
I
I know it.
decided that you're going to be my first event out of isolation.
I love it.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
I'll see you soon. But thank you.
I
I'm super
can't wait.
honored to be here. I'm super honored to be here. I'm always, for those of you attending, listen, give him a 10 if you've learned anything the last 4 days, the last 3 days.
Oh, you're so nice.
Give him a 10 because this is top notch, you guys. I've been watching. Here's the benefit of me being able to watch. I got to piggyback off of what you guys learned yesterday, right? So it's like the lesson is continuing right on. You're not going to miss a beat. Frazier was awesome yesterday. The Zolicki's the day before. Oh my gosh, you guys, how incredible. What a blessing. What a lineup. Now, I'm going to start this off with a little story about a young girl, not really too young, but a lot younger than she is now, who is scared out of her skin, literally so broken, so broke money-wise, found her way to her first GoPro event, and even was sitting in the room with all the other big earners, or so I thought. Okay, I looked around the room and there were all these men and women, and it was a 7-figure summit, I think is what it was called back then, but it was face to face. We were in the room together. And Eric is walking around the room and he's having conversations with everybody. And Eric and I had already met. And he said, I just want to know, how many people have you recruited to date? And he's asking everybody in the room. And this is the first time that I got a glimpse into what my skill really was, where my skill level really was when it came to recruiting. People, he would say, oh my gosh, so-and-so, how many have you recruited? Oh, I've recruited 18. And I thought, a week? And then he would go to the next person, and this person would stand up, and Eric would say, hey, so-and-so, how many have you recruited? And they would say, oh, I've recruited 22. So he went around the room, you guys, and then he got to me, little old country girl, little old 9th grade education, itty bitty tiny town from Florida, broken, just got off food stamps, hadn't even moved out of the government apartment yet, just barely probably. He said, how many people have you recruited? Now, keep in mind, at this point, I was only into this about probably 2 years. Okay. Still baby. And I literally had written it down from my back office. And at that point, I was almost at 2,500. I was almost at 2,500 personally brought in, introduced. And here's the cool part. Organic. They'd never done it before. Not one single person in my organization had ever done network marketing before. And so whenever I heard these stories of other people doing tiny, they were small numbers to me. But then this dude named Todd Falcone said to me one time, he's like, you do know, like, the average person probably does 5 a year. And I was like, wait, 5 a year? So this is why this is what I want you guys to understand. When I read the GoPro book, the first skill that Eric wrote about in that book was finding prospects. So you know what I thought? I thought, well, heck, if he put it as number one, that's the number one skill. The number one skill is prospecting and building your network. That must mean that's got to be my number one focus. And you guys, what you focus on expands. So because Eric said, put it first, number one, that's your number one skill, Angel. That's what I felt like he was saying to me. So I thought, if I focused on that and I really learned how to do that, and if I learned how to find prospects, this was my thinking back then. if I have to do, somebody else said to me one time, if you want to be a master of something, you have to do it 10,000 times. And I thought, well, that's a lot of people. If I got to go through 10,000 people to be a master at finding people, that's a lot of people. What the heck? What am I going to do? Well, let me tell you, I expanded my network. So when you do a Google search, you guys, for finding prospects and expanding your network, there's 1,400,000 results that show up. You think it might be a little important? You think there's a lot of people out there talking about finding prospects? It's number one in Eric's list. It's number one. So I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you a couple of unique ways to do it. Okay. And this is not y'all sit back and watch. This is y'all get you on your laptop, get to work. I want you to go to Facebook. I want you to go to the search bar. Remember that list you guys made yesterday, the 4 Ps? The 4 Ps, people, places, passions, and products. Yesterday, you guys wrote down a list of people, you wrote down places, you wrote down passions. I want you to figure out one of those. Like, for me on my list, one of my passions, I'm a Frenchie mama. I have 2 little French bulldogs. They're the loves of my life outside of Ryan and my children. And so that's one of the places that I connect with people. So pick one of those things, and I want you to put it into that search bar. And then I want you to hit search. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. There's lots of things that come up. I want you to click on the one that says groups. Click on the one that says groups. Now, don't stop there. Right underneath it, you're going to have the ability to slide a little button so that you can only see public groups. I want you guys looking at public groups that from one of your things, a type of person, a place that you want to go. For me, I did this last night on a training, and I pulled up Frenchies. Now, here's the cool thing. The reason I'm telling you to do a public group, you guys, is because you can interact, you can post, you can comment, you can see their membership. So what's the difference in being a member of a group and doing all of this, not being a member? If I get caught, there's not a daggum thing they can do to me. They can't kick me out. They can't block me. They can't, what can they do? Absolutely nothing, because I'm not an actual member. Okay. So that's why I'm sending you to look at public groups. Now, when you get to public groups, there's going to be 2 places that you can go. You can go, I want you to find a big one that's active. And you know how you can see that on your search results? It'll say so many posts a day. It'll give you that, tell you how many members are in it. And I want you to find one, A, that's big, and B, that's active. Now, here's why. Go there, find you one. Let's go there right now together. Now, let me tell you, I want you to I want you to click on it. Now, if it's a public group, it doesn't say members. I think it says people, okay? People or participants. I've seen them say both. I want you to go there. And then I want you to go and I want you to tell me, scroll down a little bit. I want you to tell me how long ago somebody joined that group. How long ago? How long ago did they join that group? It's a public group. I'm going to tell you guys, if it's an active public group, that's a large group, they're constantly joining it. So here's one way that you can meet people. You see those memberships? Listen, most of those people are joining Facebook groups with a sole purpose. So here's one way. That membership, I would, if I just found the group today, I would see who's joined that group in the last, let's say, we'll just do 4 days. Listen, some of those groups, there could be a couple hundred people that have joined the group in just the last 4 days. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to click on their name, and I want you to take a look at their profile, and I want you to go to message. And then I want you to send this message. And I'm going to say it slow. Hey, Eric, welcome to whatever the name of the group is. Welcome to whatever the name of the group is. Super excited to see you join. Okay, super excited to see you join. Just a question though. Were you looking for something specific in our community? Now, you guys, listen. They don't know if you're an admin. They don't look. They don't know if you're even a member. They don't look. Most of them don't even know how to look. They don't. Okay. And so you send the message, whatever it is. You ended it with a question. So that means when they see it, they're going to come back to you. Right? Now, here's two things I want to tell you. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to click on their profile picture and tell me if they have stories. If they're using stories, this is your perfect opportunity to get out of their Facebook and into their messenger so they can see the message you just sent them. Go comment on a story. Not like, not love, not emoji, comment on their story, whatever it is. I like to do a compliment. Oh my God, that's super cool. Hey, by the way, I just sent you a message. Hey, by the way, is always a really great way to start a conversation. Hey, by the way, I saw you were in that group. Hey, by the way, I just sent you a message, right? Because then they're going to get a notification, and then they're going to go look at their story. And when they go look at it, guess what they're going to see? They're going to see the message I sent. So that's one way to expand your network with these groups. Now, let me tell you another way. Let's say that was a Frenchie group that I went into like I did last night. Listen, those dog fur mamas and fur grandmamas, y'all, they all about their dog. Trust me when I tell you, my camera probably has as many pictures of my Frenchies as I do my grandchildren. Just being honest here. Never thought I would be there, but I am. We love to be told how beautiful our babies are. We love it. So you guys, go find a post in there. Go find a post in there. Go to that post. I'll give you an example. The one that I commented on last night, the girl said, oh my goodness, so I don't know when to spay or neuter. Somebody told me I have to wait till they're 2 years old. Well, there was thousands of comments on it. I don't comment on it. I just sent her a message because there's a little picture of her baby there. And so I sent her a message loving on her. I said, hey, so-and-so, listen, I didn't wait that long. I waited until their first heat, which was about 7 or 8 months. That's how old they were. But let me ask you, let me just give you some mommy tips to make you feel a little bit better about this. And then I just told her, I said, listen, they're going to put a cone. I gave her expectations. Within minutes, you guys, guess what I got? I got a message back thanking me so much for being so nice and so helpful and for calming her nerves. You know what? I'm going to be watching her Facebook and I'm going to be communicating with her. And here's the deal, you guys. She's going to be watching mine and the things that I'm posting and the stories that I'm posting and all of that kind of stuff. And I've just expanded my network and it took me about 15 seconds. Because let me tell you something else I did. I can then go all through the most recent comments and introduce myself as a fellow fur mama. I'm a fellow Frenchie mama. Here's a picture of my baby. I'll show you mine. You show me yours. Just like their children. So effective. So effective. You don't have a pet? Go borrow your brother's. Take a picture of you with your pet, with your brother's pet. And listen, I'm not telling you to lie about it. I would say, oh my gosh, I'm so in love with my brother's Frenchie, my best friend's Frenchie. One day I'm going to be a Frenchie mama, right? You guys, I'm going to tell you, Eric says too that building a brand is really important. While you are prospecting, while you are expanding your network, let me tell you, you want to create a fan base. And that's why I loved so much the advice and the direction that Fraser gave you guys yesterday, because he told you to think about people that you are interested in. What kind of person? Who is you attracted to? Who do you want to hang out with? Because if you find those kinds of people, then you're creating a fan base. Let me tell you why that's so important. You know, there's this system out there, and people call it what they want to. It's a cold market, it's a prospecting group system. It's everywhere. And there's 72,000 people saying that they created it. Listen, it don't matter who created it. I'm going to tell you something. In those groups, this is the problem. The problem is they haven't evolved their groups. Their groups haven't evolved. They're selling groups. That's all. You go in them, prospect or add, testimony, 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 add, buy, testimony, testimony, add. And let me tell you something. I compare this to if every single day for 25 years, I have to drive the same exact route to go to work or to the doctor or whatever, if I'm driving that road and you ask me what color the house is on such and such corner, I'm not going to be able to tell you. I'm not going to have a clue. Or if you ask me what billboard is on mile marker, whatever, I'm not going to be able to tell you. Do you know why? I'm desensitized. I'm ignoring it. I'm blocking it out. I'm paying it zero attention. That's what's happening in those groups, in your ATM, prospecting, cold market, customer, whatever y'all want to call them. It's a selling group. Consumers have gotten very smart. When you build a fan base, okay, you build a fan base by from the 4 P's that Fraser told you guys yesterday. When you build that fan base and you bring them together in a community where you're talking about things, where you're talking about the problems that overweight people have, where you're talking about the acne that your product solves, when you're talking about the hair regeneration that your product solves, when you're talking about the problems that people face in not being able to afford today's grocery shopping, that's when you help them identify a problem and they look to you for the solution. In those fan communities, because I'm going to tell you something. It's a whole lot easier for me to go into my fan club, my group page, and post about something I've fallen head over heels in love with. Let's say a lipstick, right? I go in there and I'm putting on a lipstick. Oh my God, you guys, I love this color. What do you think about this color? You like this color? I love this color. I'm going to go get me another one from Amazon. Then everybody in there wants to buy it. I didn't have to sell it. That's the cool part. When you create a fan base because of your brand. Guys, this is very important. But listen, your fan base, they want to see you real. They want you to be loving on them. And it's constantly growing. You're constantly growing and expanding that network. Now, I've showed you that, and I've showed you how to prospect and expand your network from the groups. Let me tell you another place. Let's say you're getting married. Let's say you're getting married in a year. And right now you're planning a wedding. Sit down and make a list of every single person that has their hand in a wedding. Okay? The photographer, the caterer, the event place, the florist, the bridal boutique where you're getting your dress. David, make a list of all of those things. Anybody, the DJs, anybody that has their hands, anybody. And then search on a local level for pages. For pages, especially reception centers, event locations, wedding planners, okay? And then go comment, go pay them a compliment. Let's say that you live in Gainesville, Florida, but you're going to be married in Austin, Texas. You could do it in both places, right? Go comment. And in there, sling a, oh, by the way, here's an example. Here where I live. They have a Facebook page, and it's very active. They have a lot of events there. Now, everybody's always looking at recommendations nowadays. So I can go to their event page. I've had events there, and I could leave a recommendation on that page. Even if I hadn't have had an event there, I could leave a recommendation, and I could say, oh my gosh, this place is absolutely beautiful. Just bringing attention to it. I definitely will be recommending this to anyone that's getting married in my area. Oh, by the way, if you're looking for to lose a couple of pounds before your big day, you should let me hook you up. Oh, by the ways. Oh, by the way, there's a really great ways to just put it out there. Because when you're marketing, you're competing for everybody else's attention. You're trying, pick me over here. Look at me. Don't look at all those other people. So why not give them something to look at, you guys? Let them pick you. If you don't stand out of the crowd, what are they going to pick you for? So let's go back to recruiting. What you focus on expands. Number one skill in Eric Worre's book, Finding Prospects. Where else could we find prospects? My stories. My stories is an amazing place, not just for the interaction that they give you, but if you go look at your archived stories, you guys, you look back on it, there are people that are just watching from a little distance. You know what I did? I created a little meme. You guys know who Wilson is? Wilson from Home Improvement. He's just peeking over the fence like this, and you can never see his face. I created me a little meme. And every single person that likes or loves my stories, they get a little message from me. And it says, "Hey, Eric, I see you peeking over that fence. Don't you want to come a little closer? Dot, dot, dot." And then I say, listen, on a serious note, I don't know if you're just a raging fan and you love me because I'm so awesome, or maybe it is that you're interested in what I do for energy and weight loss. Listen, either way, we should connect. Let me share it with you. So if you're open to taking a look, shoot me over that blue thumbs up. And I'm going to tell you guys something. Most people on this planet hate the blue thumbs up. I gave it a purpose, right? Most people feel like that blue thumbs up, that's the kiss of death. That's it. What does that mean? I've had a lot of people say, what does that mean? That blue thumbs up, does that mean yes? Does that mean no? What is that blue thumbs up? Well, I give it purpose. I tell them to use it as a yes, right? Because if I train them to use it as a yes, every time I get it, then it's a yes. And then I'm not out of place whenever I assume the yes, or I position myself that it is a yes. So that's what I do. I'll say, listen, do me a favor. If you're open to taking a look, shoot me over that blue thumbs up, right? Because it's a whole lot easier for them to blue thumbs up it is than, because then there's no brainer. There's no thinking. I'm telling them what to do. I'm telling them what I want them to do. And if I built my fan base, then they're going to do what I ask them to do, which is send me over that blue thumbs up. Now, so that's your product side. Now, let me just ask you a question. Are you guys out there looking for only product users? Because what you look for, you get. What you focus on expands. So have you found yourself in a position that you're just getting product users? Well, if you are, then it's time to change, to kick that over and start looking for business builders. Let me tell you how I do. I go to mommy groups, entrepreneur groups, and it's like you're polling the audience. That's how I feel. And listen, you guys see the games that I play in my head, right? This profession is one big, huge game for me. I'm just polling the audience over here playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And that's what I'm doing. Honestly, who wants to be a millionaire? Who in this group wants to be a millionaire? So this is my question to that public group membership. Hey, so-and-so. Hey, Sandy, listen, welcome to whatever the name of the group is. Welcome. Super excited to see you join it. This is awesome. Here's my question. Did you join it because you were happy with your plan B, or are you currently looking for a plan B? Because I have one that's pretty awesome. I'd love to show it to you if you were open to taking a look. Listen, do me a favor. If you are open to taking a look, shoot me over that blue thumbs up. Ooh, now we're talking. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty, because if there's one thing that I hear more often than anything else is, I have all these product users and I don't know how to get business owners. Well, I just told you how to get a business owner. I just told you. Here's another thing. Go in those public groups and be nosy. Somebody else might have already done the work for you. Let's say somebody says, oh, because you know how those group pages are. They're just all spammy pammies in there, right? And they're spamming their stuff everywhere. So let's go look and see who has said something like, oh, anybody out there have a company with zero entry fee and this and this and this? Then take a look at the comments. Listen, from those comments, I reach out to the people that are commenting on it, not the one that made the post. The one that made the post is shopping for somebody like I am. I want the ones that commented on it, right? And I'll go in there and I'll send them a message and I'll say, hey, Eric, listen, I saw your comment on that post. Man, I don't know if you're still looking for a plan B, if you're open to taking a look. I have one, it's pretty impressive. I'd love to share what some people that came in last month were blessed enough to be able to do. Listen, if you're open to taking a look, shoot me over that blue thumbs up. That blue thumbs up, you guys, it's like my assistant. I get a blue thumbs up and I'm on go. That's it. We got this. We got this. We going. So I'm going to give you guys my daily method of operation. Yesterday, who remembers? Yesterday, Frazier, I take really good notes. I hope Frazier's seeing this. His daily method of operation said, learn something new and help someone new. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. So I added to mine, but I'm going to tell you guys what mine is. Mine is 5. I do everything by 5s. I wake up every single day, and my goal is to get 5, identify 5 new prospects. Now, what is a new prospect? What is it? It's a lead. A lead is a potential customer that you've not had a conversation with. For me, who is that? Family and friends that I've identified, social media contacts. Here's the key, you guys, in this is I don't prejudge. I don't prejudge them. I don't say, oh no, they can't afford this. I don't do any of that. Honestly, I just make the list. I'm always adding to my prospecting list 5 people every single day. The next step is 5 new conversations. That's my goal. 5 new conversations. And what is a new conversation? Why do I have them, or who do I have them with? The people that I just told you guys. It's my warming, it's my staging area, the conversations, the complimenting, the connection. That's my staging area, because the next thing is my goal is to have 5 new exposures. So that I have 5 new follow-ups. And if I do all 4 of those 5 by 5s, guess what? I will collect 5 new decisions every single day. And a decision is a yes or a no, 100%, yes or no. There is no, well, maybe, or I'll look at it. No, it's 5 yeses or 5 nos, or a mix of the two. I'm collecting 5 decisions every day. And I will tell you guys, this is my bare minimum. My bare minimum is 5. Do it at one time a day. Now, here's the super cool part. I pushed myself to figure out, how quickly can I get that done? And here's why. There are some days in my life that are busier than others. And on a day that is super duper, 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 duper busy, I'm more apt. What's easy to do is also easy not to do. So I'm more apt to say, I'm busy today. And then if I'm busy one day and I'm busy 2 days, and the more days that I'm busy, the easier it is to just forget about it. When it's the #1 skill in Eric's book. It's vital. It's got to be the most important, because he put it as #1. Are you guys picking up that? You getting that? It's the #1 skill. What you focus on expands. You can't not do it a day. It doesn't work like that. I have to do it every single day. So this is what I figured out with no tools. Okay. This is me manually doing it with no tools. I can literally do this 5 by 5 in about 16 minutes. 16 minutes. So on my days that's slower, you guys, I'm doing this 3 times, 4 times, 5 times a day. The more times I do it, the bigger my network grows. The bigger my network grows, the more conversations I'm having, the more conversations I'm having, the more exposures I'm getting. The more exposures I'm getting, the more follow-up I'm doing. You see how it's a trickle-down effect, but it all starts with the #1 skill. You got to find them. You got to start the conversation. You got to expand your network. So when you do this and you figure out what's the fastest you can do it, then you give yourself something to rationalize on those really busy days. And I'll have the conversation with myself. Again, it's one big game for me, right? Listen, Angel, are you kidding me? It's 16 minutes. Just sit down and do your 5 by 5, right? There I go. I'm rationalizing so that it's easier for me to stay with my DMO. And there's no days that I don't do it anymore. In fact, there are more days that I'm doing it 2, 3, 4, because I've now convinced myself that, listen, it's just like eating. This is as important to me as eating food. So I need to do it for breakfast. I need to do it first thing in the morning. I need to do it around lunchtime, and I need to do it at dinner time. And then if I can sneak one in at bedtime, it's like a bedtime snack, right? So I'm doing this because my goal is every single day before I go to bed, I have to collect a minimum of 5 decisions. You guys, if I do that, and in this 5x5, if I'm doing it with different people, so my 5 new prospects, I don't count as 5 new conversations. It's 5 separate people. 5 for prospects, 5 for new conversations, 5 for exposures, so that I'm ending the day 25 people. Times that by 7, you guys, it's 175 people a week that I'm expanding. I'm pushing them right through my business. It's 175 people a week. That's a lot of people if you only do it one time a day. If you only do it one time a day. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you did this 52 weeks a year? You guys, can you imagine where you would be at? Now, here's the deal. I'm not saying that your closing percentage is going to be there. I'm not saying that your presentation, all of that stuff will come. Right now, if you expanded your network, 175 people a week by investing 16 minutes a day, can you just imagine? And listen, if you do it, that's one thing. But what if you have 100 people on your team doing it? 100 people on your team doing 175, expanding their networks by 175 people a week. That's pretty big numbers, right? By the law of averages, what if only 10%? That's 17 people. Wow, that's kind of cool. If you have 100 people in your organization doing it, that's 1,700 people a week. Where could your business be if you were that focused? Where could your organization be? Where could your people's business be? If you guys were investing 16 minutes every single day, doing a 5x5, I call it my matrix, doing my 5x5 every single day with 25 people. Nobody's the same name. Can't do it. They don't count. You're counting those 5 people. They do not count if they've in two different columns. Only got to be in one. Where could your business be? Now, here's the thing. Oh, Angel, nah, you're a unicorn. You're a freak of nature. You're an anomaly. I can't do that. Okay. All right. Let's say you can't. Let's say it takes you 30 minutes. I'll give you twice. Let's say it takes you 30 minutes a day to do that. The time's going to pass anyway. Are you doing anything more important than that right now? I don't think so. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to challenge you. Today, I'm going to challenge you. I am going to, this is what I want you to do. I want you to write it down. 5 new prospects, 5 new conversations, 5 new exposures, 5 new follow-ups. Your goal is to collect 5 new decisions. Yes, no, no maybes, no maybes, yeses or nos before you go to bed at night. At least one a day. Now, here's the deal, you guys. I want you to figure out 2 things. What's the fastest that you can do it? What is the absolute fastest? Just running as hard as you can run is the absolute fastest. Then I want you to tell yourself, right? Okay, oh crap, I can do it in 16 minutes. What was I thinking? I want you to push yourself. Time on, completely focused, no TV, no children, no husband, completely focused, no distractions whatsoever to complete a 5x5 matrix. And at the end of that, you have your time. I know exactly how long it takes me. Okay? So that's your first goal. Your assignment is I want you to implement going to a public group from one of your 4 P's or a couple of them. I want you to go to a public group. I want you to see how many people you can legitimately connect with in 24 hours by either sending them a message from the membership or sending them a message from a post. I want you to see. Now, I'm not asking how many messages can you send out. You can send out hundreds of messages in a 24-hour period. What I'm wanting is I'm wanting you to figure out how many new connections can I make using this strategy in a 24-hour period. Because this is what I'm going to tell you. If you can do a 5x5 matrix in 15, 16, 20 minutes, and you can connect with 50 people and create 50 new connections in a 24-hour period, that right there is your recipe to success, because that's all I've done literally for years. I see you, Eric. Are you back?
Yeah, throw me up. Throw me up.
Well,
So I love the challenge. So if we're summarizing the challenge, one, pick a public group that's part of your passion, whatever. And the challenge is, how many people can you make a real connection with? We'll call this the group connection challenge. Okay? Use the hashtag group connection challenge. How many people can you make a connection with in 24 hours, starting from right now? So you got till noon Pacific time tomorrow. See how many you can do. Now, tomorrow when we come back with Ed Milet, what I want to do is I want to ask all of you, how many?
Yeah.
How many connections have you made in the last 24 hours? And you're telling me, Angel, that this has been your secret weapon for 8,000 recruits?
This is how I collect people. I've told you that for many years. I collect people every single day. I expand
You collect
my network.
friends, you collect relationships.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So how do you, I saw people asking the question, how do you track all this?
Okay, so that's a really good question, because I have 6 profiles, and
Yeah.
every single one of my profiles is maxed out with groups.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I was joining them back then, which is why I discovered public groups. You guys, I don't have to track that. You know what I have to track? I have to track posts. I don't really make posts in groups anymore, because everything's in Messenger for me now. See, before we used to say, go to a group, make a post, you have to follow it, you have to save it, you have to go back to it. I don't have to do that anymore, Eric. I'm going to the person. And all of that is easily tracked in my Messenger. And here's why. If I want to go into Messenger,
So Messenger organizes it for you, essentially.
it does. Yeah, it does. Because listen, every single person that from a Frenchie group has the word Frenchie in it. Every single one of them. So if I want to go and connect with some Frenchie people, I type Frenchie in every single conversation I've had. So you pick those key words. If it's a Chicago Cubs, I always start the conversation with the word Cubs in it. It's super easy that way. It's like having a built-in filing cabinet.
And what are your biggest, because Cubs is a big one, because you love the Cubs. Mm-hmm. How many groups are you connected to that are connected to the Cubs? Would you guess?
Probably 1,000.
1,000 groups just with Cubs. Mm-hmm. And you're super passionate about that anyway. Yeah. What are some of the other big ones?
Sons of Anarchy television.
Sons of Anarchy. So how many Sons of Anarchy groups are you connected with?
Probably, I watched every episode 10 times. Probably 500 or 600.
500 or 600. What's another big one? I'm just doing this to give people ideas.
My car clubs.
Car clubs. So she's into classic cars, muscle cars, classic cars, and she started buying a bunch of those. I'm building one, and she has a whole fleet of them. So we have that in common. We did talk about it. So as she's doing this, I want you to put into the comments, what are some of your passions? What are some of the groups that you're going to go look up? So Prius, art, soccer, coffee. And if you're going to do soccer, pick a team.
That's right.
Or pick a league or whatever. Aerial silks, guns, horses, Jesus, puggies, workout, football. Pick a team again. Flowers. What kind of flowers? Pets. What kind of pets? fitness, what kind of fitness? Try and get as specific as you can, because it's a little bit more. I mean, Cubs is Cubs, right? You don't have to do the Cubs pitchers or the Cubs, batting coach or something. You don't have to go inside of that. But hiking or a TV show or worship hula, perfect example. Zumba.
A book, an author,
Yes.
cooking, what is keto cooking, vegetarian cooking, like legitimately, you guys, Facebook has sorted people all over this planet. They're all in groups, like they're walking around with signs that says, oh, skincare, go into an acne group. You guys, there's a lot of people, the nanas who have adopted their children, their grandchildren.
Really? Because we're sending out text messages and we're sending.
One of them are saying, please love on me. Please make me feel important. Because I'm going to tell you guys, they wouldn't be, if they had lives that were amazing and fabulous and terrific, why the heck are they hanging out in a Facebook group talking about how miserable they are all the time?
Yeah. Why 6 Facebook profiles? Because they maxed you out, right?
Yeah. And those are mistakes that I made early on in this. Now,
because you were joining them.
Yeah. I was joining all the groups. I was friending every single person. Do I keep up with them? No. It's like going to the library and checking out a book. I'll jump over on a profile if I need some variety in my life. Let's say one of my profiles is all from all my trips in Hawaii. So if I'm headed to Hawaii, I'll jump over on that profile, go jump in a couple of groups. And it comes in handy because of the longevity. They see me, oh my gosh, she's been in this group for 4 years. Then I don't look scary.
Yeah, I love that. So pick a passion that is not going to feel like work. It's something that you can talk about a lot, and you know all about it. You know all about the team. You know all about that topic. You can come in and love on those people in their language. Sons of Anarchy, I'm sure, has a language, and there's the favorite characters, and there's the favorite episodes, and can you believe they said that, or whatever it happens to be. You can have fun conversations with those types of people. So anything, your people are still throwing in the comments, and keep throwing in the comments to give other people ideas. Any ideas. And if it's broad or if it's narrow, if it's super specific, if it's about, mushroom hunting, or if it's about goat yoga, or it's about making cupcakes, or it's about red Ferraris, or if it's about a movie, or if it's about Tesla, or you name it, you can go in there and have some fun. And it's just an excuse, right? It's just an excuse to be able to connect with another human being that has a similar interest.
Yeah. Oh, Eric, and let me tell you, another you guys need to look at is budget. If you're selling a high ticket item,
Great tip.
Let's say it's energy. Let's say it's like solar energy panels. I don't know. I don't even know if there's a network marketing company out there that sells that, to be honest with you. But let's say it's a big ticket. It's 30 grand to get whatever it is that you're selling, or the water machines, they're like 10 grand. Go hang out in places where people who can afford that. Here's an example. If I was selling a high ticket item, or let's say crypto, if I was selling crypto, I'd be hanging out in groups where Tesla owners are. Not everybody, or those Land Rovers. Those are a high ticket item. People who can afford those. Another one.
You wouldn't go to like coupon cutting or groups in order to be able to talk about crypto, as an example.
Yeah, no. Here's another one.
Go to where your natural audience is hanging out.
That is correct. Figure out what rooms you can be in where people are who can afford what you have. Don't be shortchanging.
It's a great tip.
Because that's a big one. And listen, remember, somebody's buying. Either you're buying their crap or they're buying your crap, one or the other. And here's the deal, you guys. If you're hanging out in those rooms where people can't afford it, then you're buying their crap because they can't afford to buy yours.
Yeah, totally makes sense. How much, realistically, you built this huge business, and you have some, family members have immune compromised issues. So because of that, you've been really, really staying at home, and being careful, and had to get through some health issues with family members and all that. How much time, realistically, I mean, if somebody had a stopwatch that said, okay, Angel's working, Angel's stopped working, Angel's working again, Angel stopped working. How many hours a week are you working your network marketing business?
So at this point in my career, as you would know, Eric, you have different levels of work.
Yep.
I don't like when I'm working in my communities and my fan clubs, which is what I built, people that just love me, that's not work.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to look at intensely,
but it's still an income producing activity.
It absolutely is. But that's my love. I'm in there all day.
I understand your passion. I'm just talking about whole hours committed to the development of your business today. And then maybe early on, how has it changed? Or I want to give, some people get overwhelmed when they think about all this. And I want to give them a sense of perspective as to a total number of hours into the return.
Yeah. Well, now it's way less. Now it's probably building probably an hour and a half a day. An hour and a half a day is building.
How about all the social stuff?
All my social
groups.
Stuff, I live in there, you guys. My life.
I know, but what is it? What is it?
Probably,
5 hours a day? 6 hours a day?
Probably 5 or 6 on average a day.
Okay. So about 40 hours a week, something like that?
Yep, probably about 40 hours a week.
40 hours a week. And at your peak, the highest you ever committed in weekly work, what was that?
For a big audacious goal, I pushed to get to a rank in a week. I've probably done 18 hours a day.
Yeah, for real quick bursts, right?
Short
or a season when you wanted to change your life.
Yes.
Yeah. Real quick burst, go nuts for a little bit. And all of us can do that for a short period of time, but for a long period of time, what I want you to understand is she's managing 36,000 groups and thousands and thousands and thousands of relationships and connections in 40 hours a week or so.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Something like that.
Absolutely.
So, if a person's part-time, most people are part-time, you could manage a really good chunk of that in 10 to 20 hours a week, right?
Oh, absolutely. Eric, this 5x5 that I just gave you, I literally sat down and we came up with this because I had school teachers who had children at home. And so they only got 5-minute breaks to run to the bathroom. And so I said, okay, well, how can we do this? How can we do this? How can they build a business? And so literally they've broken it down to be able to do 3 5-minute pee breaks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they're doing their 5x5. So you have to understand that this system that I showed you guys today is a system that even somebody that has 0 time can find 16 minutes.
Yep. And do you have a bunch of virtual assistants that do all this stuff for you inside of these groups?
I don't have anybody. I've never had an assistant yet.
So do you do it yourself?
I do everything myself. Every message I return is always me. Every call I do, I'm a control freak, you guys.
Well, and here's the thing. I want you to kind of grasp this. If she could do this at this level, she can do this from her home, literally. She could do this with challenges and issues in her life, and without any help, without any assistance. For 8,000 recruits, can you do it for 8 recruits?
That's right.
Or 80 recruits? How many feel more empowered that you have a tool now that you didn't have before today? Put a number 5 into the comments if you feel empowered that you got a tool and you can do this, you can make this happen. All right, I'm loving seeing all the 5s. 5s are just flying past the screen. Before we go backstage with the backstage group, Angel, I just want to tell everybody quickly about GoPro. If you don't have your ticket yet, we built a $20 million studio just for you. $20 million